live from an ESG data flavored vegan cheese spread. That sounds like Ari's favorite food. It's the ESG industry's only weekly woke data podcast featuring very special guest stars, Ari the Data Queen and Jesse the Money Whisperer. I say guest stars because you're not normally here on Wednesday.
Yeah. The good game, though. I'm excited for the good game.
Ari just gave away the surprise in today's enchanted ESG matcha boba called October 4th, 2023, the good game. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm just going to be thinking of matcha boba this whole game.
Boba just exploded up here. There's like 5 new places opening up within like a walking distance.
Oh, there's one near here, too. It's really good.
Our show today is being sponsored by S-Gage, your ESG data solutions provider.
Thank you, S-Gage.
How come the audience didn't clap for you guys? Why just our sponsor?
The audience is a little slow right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they imagine us as guests anymore.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe that was rude of me. You ready? We're playing the good game today. We don't play the good game very often anymore. I don't really know why.
I'm excited.
I think it's because Ari went on leave. I think we kind of stopped because
And
this
she's
is really
the only one that.
this is the thing that
loves
makes
good
Ari
headlines.
this makes her the happiest, this show. So
yeah, that was probably it.
here we go. Let's just play. You ready? I'll remind the audience what the good game is. I find headlines that just kind of make me feel good, make me feel happy. They just seem like, oh, okay, the world's not terrible. But then I'm like, am I right? Am I wrong? So I turn over the headlines to our fabulous pundits, Ari and Jesse, and they tell me if I'm right or wrong with a numerical value from 0 to 10. Okay? It's that simple.
But now Matt's not here, so who's going to be Matt?
We don't need Matt. Ari,
Someone's going to be the antagonist.
I'm worried I'm giving away. I'm like setting you up to become this, Ari, by saying this out loud. But I think when Matt is not here, you tend to trend a bit more negative. You take over the role of Matt a bit. You get more cynical. You get more jaded. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Let's play. Actually, Matt's not here. I don't want that music. This is our music. Come on.
Oh.
This is for Ari.
All right, Damien.
Here we go. The good game. First headline. Uber will now deliver returned packages. Uber has added a return a package feature to its app in almost 5,000 cities. I mean, who even knew there were 5,000 cities, first of all? So they're letting
a lot of cities.
Right? They're letting customers leave out up to 5 prepaid packages to be returned to UPS, FedEx, the post office, and it only costs $5. Yeah, nobody seems that excited.
For all packages or per package?
I think it's per trip. Although it does say in this article for most users. I don't know what that means.
Got it.
But $5, Jesse, to return all the packages you hate, all the presents you hate from your mother-in-law.
Did
what do
Ari
you
already
think,
vote?
Jesse? Nope.
Oh, I'm going.
Does this
you're
make
gonna
anyone
let me
feel
go
good?
first?
Sure, why not?
Yep.
No, this makes me feel terrible. I'm giving this
Why? You gotta tell me why.
Because this is like one point of resistance to like over ordering or over consuming online, where it's like way too convenient to order stuff, might be that you have to return the things you don't like. So now if you're able to just put
That's
them
true. I
out
didn't think
on
of
your
that.
stoop and have someone come pick them up for $5, that is just
It's a lot of
that
extra
scares
driving.
me. I'm giving this a 2.
Would you give it a higher score if Uber also announced that its fleet of cars was all electric? Would that change how you think?
No, because I want to separate. I mean, I want to separate it a little. well, there's two things really going on. There's the environmental impact, but there's also
Mhm.
just like overconsumption, which is,
Right.
environmental as well, but it's also like a psychological thing. I don't know. I just feel like psychologically it might promote, it just gets rid of that little bit of resistance that returns might contribute, and I
Ari-
don't like that.
As someone who has like 3 returns pending, like
Yeah,
at
I was
my
gonna say,
house that I
Ari's
haven't
life.
dropped off.
I was gonna preface Ari by saying that her life just got a lot busier, and I've been to Ari's house several times. There's a lot of Amazon packages showing up at Ari's house. I don't think it's her fault though. But so Ari, you're the best person to answer this question. Do you like this?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately,
Oh, she likes
Jesse.
this.
I do. It's just I don't know what it is. The hurdle of getting to UPS or USPS is just sometimes.
So you would
it's
use
too
this?
much. I would use it. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I have 2 packages in my house that I've been supposedly returning for 3
You could
weeks
pay me
now, and I haven't.
$5 and I'll return them.
You drive all the way to her house?
Her house is like 2 minutes from the office.
She'll walk. She'll
That's
walk.
true.
So we reduce
Yeah.
the shipping.
What's your score, Ari?
I'm gonna give this a 6.
Wow.
Ooh.
I think I would use it. I'm not proud that I would use it, but I would use it.
What's odd to me is that the Postal Service, the USPS, they actually will take your returns
I
for
know, they
free,
do do
right?
this.
You can leave anything out there and they will take it away. It's really one of the greatest organizations ever, but everyone craps on them. So, next headline: Kaiser Permanente union strike. Another strike. More than 75,000 nurses, pharmacists,
Wow.
and other employees of the Kaiser Permanente health system walked off the job today in the largest U.S. healthcare strike in at least since the 90s when they started recording this data.
75,000.
But here's the
Wow.
thing about this strike. Unlike the Hollywood strike, unlike the auto strike going on, this strike is a planned duration. They're only going to do 1 day in some states and 3 days in other states. So I think this is more of a
Is it
message
because
to the company.
people are going to die if they do it for longer?
That is probably part of it. Yeah, there is a system. They put in a system in place to deal with the vacancies. But yes, I think overall, which I don't know, like doesn't that kind of ruin their bargaining power? I mean, if they just stayed out,
Or is
wouldn't they
it
kind of
just-
get their demands, or is it just
or is
mean?
it just morally responsible?
Well, it's also you're more responsible to treat these people well too, right? I mean,
Yes, of course.
as an employer, I'm saying, yeah. So, what do you think about this? Ari, you seemed the most excited when I read that
Yeah,
headline.
I love strikes. I love strikes. I did
Yeah.
not realize that this is just a 1-day type of strike.
Yeah,
But it's getting on headlines. It's
a
the
statement.
largest U.S. healthcare walkout.
yes.
Like that already would give them the upper hand. So I like this. It's a 1-day thing. That's weird. Also, most healthcare workers are women, so this is
Right.
definitely a woman's issue. And the amount of burnout that healthcare workers are experiencing since even before the
I
pandemic.
was gonna say, yeah, even before, but now especially.
Yeah,
What's your score, Ari?
I'm gonna give this a 10.
I will say that if
Maybe they'll add another day next week or something.
I was gonna say, so the new deal they're hoping for, they're asking for increased wages and staffing. So my sense is that if they don't get the deal they want from the company, that they will probably go out and strike again. Just not
Yeah.
a continuous stretch of time. Jesse, what do you think about this?
I give this a 10 as well. I like
Wait, you
this.
live with a nurse.
I do live with a nurse. I want him to get paid well.
Do you want to go on strike? Yeah. All right, 10s all around. Okay. Next
I
headline.
would support
That's
him
a
if
good
he went on
one.
strike.
The next one's confusing, but I just wanted to hear your take on this.
Okay.
Subway's CEO, John Chidsey, we never talked about this guy. Subway CEO John Chidsey says that he eats at the chain 3 times a week. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Yes, the Wall Street Journal is reporting on this. And that his favorite sandwich is the Turkey Cali Club.
Slow day at the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
I call this BS. There's no way
Why?
he's there 3 times a week because it's
And-
crap.
Well, can I add something to this, Ari? He says that he often eats in the company's cafe, which is located in the corporate headquarters. Is that really the same thing?
No.
Like there's a mock
There's-
restaurant in their headquarters. That doesn't count, does it?
Well, I mean, he's eating their food.
He's eating their food, but
There's
it's
no
not about the
way
experience.
that's the same food.
Here's why I'm suspicious. I happened to take a glance at the article, which I know I'm not supposed to do. But it said that this same guy used to be the CEO of Burger King, and he also coincidentally ate there 3 times a week. So either he's really structured and rigid, or he's just BSing everyone.
I'll
eating everywhere he works 3 days.
I'll say even more, Jesse, is that according to the article, they claim that all fast food CEOs eat at their restaurants about 3 times a week. This is like an
They would
industry
be dying from heart
industry
disease.
standard. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that up high. I think once
be
a month is
dying.
fine.
No, this is dumb. I'm going to give this a 2.
Oh, what about the sandwich choice though? Before you grade it, Jesse, what do you think about Turkey Cali Club?
Here's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's turkey with some avocado. That's where Callie's coming in.
I gotta
some
say,
lettuce. It sounds fine to me.
I am a big fan of his choice. Not only is it turkey, but fresh mozzarella, smashed avocado, on hearty multi-grain bread. It sounds like a sandwich I would enjoy. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I'm gonna give this one just like a neutral 5. I'm glad for his health that he's eating here 3 times a week over BK. So
Well, I will say this. Here's the shocking part. The Subway actually sells this sandwich as a 6-inch or a foot long. The foot long Pro Turkey Cali Club, which is double meat, comes in at 1,410 calories for one sandwich. That's basically your day's calories, essentially. All right, so there you go.
Gosh.
All right, moving on in the good game for October 4th, 2023 with Jesse and Ari. Matt, where is Matt? Anyone know where Matt is?
He is on some island, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we're contractually allowed to tell people where he is.
He's on a special mission.
All right, how about this one? This is a crazy one. This is a very precise prediction from the CEO at JP Morgan. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says, our children will probably only work 3.5 days a week thanks to AI. Here's the quote. Your children will live to 100 and not have cancer because of technology, and they'll probably be working 3.5 days a week. I just love this one because it's just so oddly precise. 3.5 days.
Why was he thinkless? I know, not 4, not 2, or maybe.
And it's
3.
3.5 days. Isn't that actually 4 days? What does that mean? 3.5 days. What does that mean?
Right.
Also, this seems like a really large generalization. Like, he's only talking about like corporate 9-to-5 jobs, finance jobs. Like,
I don't know.
What are we talking? This just doesn't compute.
Are you jealous?
This is so dumb. Like,
I'm skeptical.
Dumb? Why is it dumb, Ari?
If the internet didn't make our work weeks 3.5 days long, is AI going to do it? No. Our employers are just going to find more stuff for us to do to fill those other days.
Exactly what I was just going to say. They're just going to expect more stuff gets done and higher productivity levels. They're not going to give people a day and a half back for work-life balance.
According to recent research, they've been testing this. They've been testing 4-day work weeks.
4 days, yeah.
They're fine. Well, 3.5 days is 4 days, Jesse. You can't, right? I mean, what does that mean?
No,
what does that mean?
Leaving. Everyone works Monday through Wednesday and leaves at 2 p.m. That's 3.5
No, that's
days.
not what 3.5 days means. That it means half of Thursday is what it means.
Oh, yeah. Everyone works Monday through
But
Wednesday.
according to research, they've been setting 4-day work weeks. Workers are happier, more productive, reporting lower levels of stress and burnout, and companies are even seeing an increase in income because workers are more efficient. I believe all this, by the way.
I would be too.
They're probably just overdoing it so they can get their companies to permanently do 4 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they'll go back to their baseline.
Yes, absolutely. So what do you think? Yeah, I thought you guys would be a little bit more excited by this, but you guys seem
No,
skeptical.
this is dumb.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
Ari, I told you, Ari, you become
gets a
jaded. 5. Ari?
I'll give this and not have cancer because of technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
I'm going to give this a 1.
Oh.
Oh, she's going very low.
All right, let's see if I can do better
Jamie
here.
Dimon, please.
Let's see if I can do better. We're doing next headline. Drug makers agree to negotiate with Medicare on prices of 10 medications. The pharmaceutical companies said they would begin talks with the government, even as several of them were suing the administration, arguing that the new law is unconstitutional. But I will say this. This is one of the hallmarks of President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, because previously it was illegal for Medicare to negotiate directly with drug makers. Can you believe it? It was actually illegal.
I cannot.
Yeah, I find that to be shocking.
Ugh, God. I mean, are we capitalists or what?
I don't know what we are. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So what do you think about this? You're going to have to bear in mind that the companies are also suing the government, but they've also agreed to start negotiating. So is this a win? It feels like a win, but is it?
I mean, what else are they going to do? Yeah, they're going to sue, but they're going to talk to the freaking largest customer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, no, duh. This is a 5 to drug makers.
Okay, but what about for us? What about for the people?
For the people, it's a 10.
Yes.
I'm delighted.
So what are you gonna pick? A 10 or a 5?
This is a 5 because nothing has happened yet.
Oh, Jesse.
I mean, I was gonna say 6 because I want to err on the side of it's positive, but yeah, again, they've just agreed to it. There's no action.
But also
beginning negotiations. Yeah.
What else are they gonna do? Lose their largest customer? That makes no sense. So yeah, I have a problem with the headline, not with what's happening.
Okay, it's fine. This is how the game works. I'll remind people we're playing the good game, and this is what the good game sounds like. October 4th, 2023, the good game. All right, next headline. This one, I don't know how you're going to crap on this one. Let's see how you crap on this one. Nissan, Nissan, the car company, to launch only all-electric car models in Europe starting now.
Starting now.
Now. No 2050 nonsense.
Cool. Not 2055.
That's cool.
So the company is aiming to achieve 100% electric vehicles in Europe by 2030. This puts them 5 years ahead of the deadline set by the EU and the UK. But all the new cars they're putting out again, they can't immediately take all the gas cars off the streets. They've already sold them, but they're starting right now. They're only selling. But why? I don't want to throw a wrench in this, but of course the first thing I ask is why only Europe? Like why don't we get this fun? But
because Europe is way more proactive at these things than we are.
Probably better.
But forget that.
And stuff.
Forget my cynicism. What do you think about this headline?
I wonder if we're gonna get the unsold gas cars dumped.
Right. Yes.
On here.
Really cheap Nissans.
Hey, Jesse.
I'm giving this a 10.
Right? How is this not a 10, Ari? Come on.
Yeah,
this is cool.
This
is a good precedent.
This is the first time we've been doing this show for a long time. This is the first time I've seen a company announce something good and say they're doing it now. No, right. All right. How about this weird one? Yeah, go ahead.
You should get an award.
Yeah.
A little sound effect.
It's funny. Here's their sound. Here's what they get. That's the best they can do. Come on, audience. Yeah. All right. Okay, enough. I gave that guy in the audience that bell, and he's going. How about this weird one? I just want to hear you guys talk about this. Krispy Kreme puts Insomnia Cookies brand up for sale as it doubles down on donuts.
Oh, I didn't realize that Krispy Kreme was still alive.
Me
I didn't either. But I was just excited by this doubles down on donuts. I was just excited by that. Now you guys don't care.
The world
Nobody
does
cares.
not need more Krispy Kreme donuts.
Okay.
So did they try it again to the cookie world, and then we're like, never mind?
They bought a majority stake in the company Insomnia Cookies, and I guess I think the subtext is that they don't sell as well as the donuts, right? I mean, why else would you get rid of the cookies?
Yeah, but do people actually buy the donuts or just eat them while they wait in line and then leave?
Excuse me? What are you talking about? What kind of a world are you living in, Jesse?
There used to be one in our town.
And they wouldn't buy them?
Light was on. They would hand them out while you're in line. I don't
You
know
wouldn't-
about you.
You wouldn't
but
buy them for
I
free?
went to go buy them, and then I would eat one, and I'm like, oh, I don't need any more.
Wait, what?
than
Was this like an
so
opening
I'd
day
leave.
celebration or something?
No, it's
This is
all
their
the
business
time.
model? That sounds
Yeah, it's
amazing.
like
That's
when-
amazing.
That's what I'm saying. So you just go, got your one. I didn't even know people bought these.
I don't
thought they
believe
just
you.
went and ate them for free in line.
Does anybody
Okay,
care
so
about this
they're
one?
not putting effort with their cookies,
5,
and they're
don't care.
pushing sugar with donuts. I'm gonna give this
Yes.
a 0.
Oh. Okay, moving on. This is an interesting one. Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky. This was hard to believe, but he thinks hosts on his platform should lower their prices. He says, quote,
Yes.
he says, we want prices to move and to be more competitive with hotels. That's really important. We need to get our house in order.
Yeah.
This
At
is
least
crazy, right?
They're aware. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
true.
Airbnb prices have been so high that it doesn't even make sense anymore. Might as well get a hotel. Their
Absolutely.
cleaning fees,
Yeah.
like they tell you to check out. They give you all these things that you have to do. You know, you have to clean all the. Like, I understand picking up after yourself, but they make you. Many Airbnbs make you strip beds, like do all this extra stuff, and then charge you a cleaning fee of
Crazy.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Yep.
My family routinely used Airbnb for 2 or 3 years, and we've completely stopped the last 2 or 3.
Yep.
Because you're right, the hotels are just you don't have to do anything, and they're cheaper than the Airbnbs. And I'm less scared that there's like creepy cameras and recording devices set up in the hotels. But what do I know? All right. So you guys sound excited by this, maybe?
I mean, it's not going to happen. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, the CEO's coming out and saying it, right?
I know, that's funny. It's
I'm
because
gonna
it's
give it
hurting
an-
their bottom line, huh? Greedy hosts are hurting their
That's
bottom
true.
line.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 5.
Oh, Ari.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
give
Jesse.
this
What do
a
you think?
7.
Thank you, Jesse.
I'm feeling optimistic today. Maybe
I like it.
maybe
I
it'll
like the
change.
awareness of the CEO, though.
Yes, Brian Chesky. We got 3 more headlines here. This is a strange one. This is the one I really wanted you two to weigh in on, and I don't even know if I actually think this is good or not, but I suspect a large part of the population does think this is good, but I really want to know your opinion. Mark Zuckerberg agreed it could be possible to use the metaverse, of course, which is one of the major things that his company is developing, to bring back the dead virtually. He said, quote, if someone has lost a loved one and is grieving, there may be ways in which being able to interact or relive certain memories could be helpful. But he also went on to say that there was an extent to which this could become, quote, unhealthy. He also said, quote, I'm not an expert in that, so I think we'd have to study that and understand it in more detail. To be fair, Mark, you're not an expert really in anything. I mean, you dropped out of college, right? Like after a year. I mean, he doesn't really actually have the expertise to run the world's largest social media. None of the things they've started did they know the effects it would have on humanity.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to say that. But what do you two think about this idea of bringing back the dead virtually?
Have they hired a single healthcare professional, like at a senior level?
It's a good question.
Because, I mean, this is just going beyond, right? But
Yeah.
even the studies that come out, the teenage girls, for example, feel more suicidal now,
because of Instagram.
all these things, I think, exactly, would prompt Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, to
Mm-hmm.
hire psychologists, psychiatrists, I don't know, experts.
Well, even
at
on the
senior
board level,
levels.
even. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
is
well, I
weird.
was just reading that I don't remember who makes Ozempic. I think maybe Pfizer. No, maybe Novo Nordisk. But they actually have an executive position called the director of obesity drugs or whatever. So why wouldn't Meta? You're right. Why wouldn't Meta have a executive psychologist
They need
or
a
something like that?
director of mental health. I think,
Right.
I don't know, I could see an application of this under the direct supervision of a mental health professional. Like when you go to therapy or something with a
Mhm.
psychiatrist, that this could be used for the grieving process. Maybe. I don't know. It still sounds
but then
bananas.
they're gonna
Oh.
keep your data or something. Like it's not.
Maybe. That's
I
true.
don't know if this would. Be
I
the
don't trust
forum
them.
That
I
would
hate
want.
everything about this.
Yeah. I freaking hate this.
Out on this. You do know that this will happen, right? I mean, this is going to happen.
This is awful. If you need solace and want to connect with your ancestors or someone who has just passed, you can set up a meditation practice, or you can journal, or you can put their photo up on an altar at your house. Like, there are ways to remember and connect with people that are not this kind of like falsified placeholder, or like right. Oh, they didn't actually leave you. Like, I don't think this is good for healing at all.
I will tell you this, Jesse, in the last few weeks, the headlines we've seen is they're already starting, AI or whatever you want to call it is already starting to put out like deep fake commercials mimicking the voices of celebrities like Tom Hanks and Robin Williams. The iPhone is now able to learn your voice and to use your own voice to create audio messaging and everything. So
weird.
We are heading this way quite quickly. I mean, it's gonna happen. But to your point, Jesse, you don't think it's a positive thing.
I don't think it's ethical at all. No.
Right.
All right,
so
I give this a 0.
Scores?
I think like the main difference between, for example, if you have a voicemail of a dead relative that you listen to over
That's
and over
the thing
again.
That was what I was thinking of, Ari. Yeah.
Right, but I think it's totally different because this thing can create new stuff that may not necessarily have happened. Right,
Ari, if they have enough of your conversations recorded, enough of the emails, the voice messages, all
it could
AI can to have a conversation. Right. You don't even have to, you don't have to relive memories. You can have new conversations.
Exactly. That's what's so weird. So 0.
Jesse?
0.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Bad.
2 more headlines. Oh, this is an interesting one. First, I want to talk about the headline, and then we can just get to the actual story itself. This is from Fox News. I wanted to preface that because they use an adjective in their headline, which I think is interesting. I didn't really know. I've always read that the journalists on Fox News online are actually pretty normal people, but I can tell from this that they're using a lot of bias. But here's the headline: shocking number of Europeans say you should only be able to fly 4 times in your life due to climate change. Okay, 2 things. The shocking part, obviously, Fox News added. And the European part, I don't understand because the poll, they were asking French people. So I don't know why Fox News is afraid of saying French, but I guess they're Europeans maybe is more of a trigger. Anyway, I'm getting loaded down on nonsense. I'll repeat the headline. Shocking number of Europeans say you should only be able to fly 4 times in your life due to climate change. 41% of citizens would support such a limit. And that number went up to 6. That number really spikes with young people between the ages of 18 and 24. 60% say that they would support that limit.
I am actually shocked.
I got to hear this. I want to hear your reaction, Ari. But bear in mind that, people in Europe have access to the most incredible train system
just about to say that.
known to the world, right? So they don't necessarily need the planes like we do. And our country is just massive, right? So
totally.
But what do you think about this in general?
We would have to be much, much, much more creative if we wanted like new and novel experiences than someone that's in France that can jump on a train and go to any number of countries around them. Like, we could go to Canada or drive really far to Mexico, and that's pretty much.
And we do have trains. They suck, but we do have trains, and
they're
we
terrible.
do have. There are boats.
We can't even easily plan a trip from West Hartford or Hartford, Connecticut to Portland, Maine.
True.
That, I don't know. I think it would. Be very, very challenging.
I grew up in Portland, Maine. I live there. I live in Portland, Maine again now. When I went to college in Ohio, of all places, I took the train. It was a horrible experience. I took the train, though. I mean, in fact, I took the train.
How long did that take?
Well, it's supposed to take 14 hours, but typically it would take about 22 hours. It was a horrible experience, but I did do it. It's possible. So,
Ew.
Did they not have planes back then?
I was, what can I tell you? I was raised by a teacher and a librarian, so we weren't exactly like, getting a lot of plane tickets. I didn't even take a plane until I was 18 years old, so it wasn't a part of my childhood.
I like this. I like the French youth. So,
right?
Yeah.
4 times. I will say that
I
the
like
poll,
that they think this, and I hope that they live by this. That will help us all. So
what was interesting to me is it said that the poll applied to air travel for business and pleasure. So I'm wondering if that means like if you needed a flight for like a bereavement reason, like a funeral or something, maybe that wouldn't count on part of this. Like, I find it fascinating.
Maybe
honestly.
they're banking on the metaverse to just have your avatar show up
right
to your grandma's funeral.
I mean, especially when we talk about the next headline, I find this fascinating that I don't know. I wonder if this is sort of the future of air travel. I wonder if younger generations are going to start putting like legally mandated limits on it, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Oh,
I'm
we
gonna
better
give this
get
a
our
10.
flying in ASAP.
Jessie seems
then.
scared because Jessie wants to travel with her new husband.
Don't worry, Jesse. You don't live in France.
You could take a boat.
U.S. scares the crap out of me lately. I don't want to be stuck here with no option to leave if I can only fly 4 times in my life.
You already used up your quota. Oh, you know what's gonna happen,
doomsday.
right? People are gonna start buying other people's quotas, like the ones that can't afford to fly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind
Black
of like
market quota trading.
it's like for people like me
See,
who are not.
this is scary.
Yeah, it's kind of like for people like me who are not big drinkers, and you go to events and you get drink tickets, and you like, I don't care, I don't need my drink tickets. So
Right.
yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
And then you
yeah.
pass them, you hand them out, and
Or
then
you
you're
sell
the
them
most
when you're
popular
younger.
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
What do you think? Scores?
10.
Wow, Jesse, you seem a bit more skeptical. You don't want to be told what to do.
I'm giving it a
3.
3. A
Jesse,
10?
Jesse, how could
This
you
is
find
good.
fault in
This
this?
is in the right direction.
You think
for all
people
of
should
us.
be allowed to fly just all their lives, just whenever they want?
Yeah.
It's just a right. I'm surprised out of you. I'm surprised this is coming. So what about regulating EV cars versus gas cars? That's wrong.
Hey,
No.
don't
What
have
about
Uber pick up your package.
No.
But what's the
fly
difference,
every other
Jesse?
day.
What's the difference between regulating
I don't
gas-powered
fly-
cars?
Listen, I don't
No,
fly
really.
every other day, but I do plan to fly more than 4 more times in
Okay,
my life.
what about some kind of regulation about the amount of?
Sure,
okay.
but
all right,
not
so
4.
she's there, Ari. She's getting
I
there.
mean,
She's getting there.
Damian, you would be able to fly once a decade for the remainder of your
Hey,
life. Less than.
If I knew this was a thing, I could move to France permanently and just use the trains. I don't know. Maybe I just change my. We were
You
talking
think
about this
they're
other day,
gonna let
Jesse.
you into France? Probably not.
No, there wouldn't. Jesse, we were talking about this the other day. We now have 3 licensed drivers in my house, and we only have
Whoa.
1 car, right? And so now we never see our car anymore. But we're doing a lot of our errands now by foot. And we were kind of like, this is kind of fun. Like it's
That's
making us. It's like changing the way we're interacting with our world. Like
Yeah,
we now
that's
had
cool.
right. So it's like
I wonder
I
if
would
it's
just
gonna
adapt.
be fun in the
Oh,
depths of the
stop
winter,
it!
though.
Stop.
I mean, in
I'm
reality,
just saying.
flight prices are still too cheap.
Too cheap, exactly.
It's
yes.
too cheap. It doesn't
Too
take
cheap.
into account like the
Mhm.
earth killing. So
Right. All right. So
I'm
that's a
fine with
surprising
that.
one.
Raise the
All right.
price.
Okay, so then this last one, the last headline, I'm also interested to see how you react to this because I find it to be kind of similar. This is the last headline for the Good Game, October 4th, 2023, with Ari, the Data Queen, Jesse, the Money Whisperer. Jesse, your nickname really came true in the last few weeks. You whispered us a really great deal with our. I don't want to get into the details, but you saved the company a lot of money through your money whispering.
she's finding money in the cushions.
And I also say the Data Queen, that
In the
nickname,
trees.
we were kind of lost without Ari with a lot of the data
Yeah.
things when she was gone. So both of your nicknames really came true recently. All right, last headline. Here we go. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announces plan to gradually ban smoking. The legal age that people can buy cigarettes would rise by 1 year every year meaning that someone who is currently 14 years old will never legally be sold a cigarette. So remember, they did this in New Zealand. They right. So this is coming out of Great Britain, and I'm going to remind you before you vote that just 2 weeks ago, the same prime minister announced a series of horrible major U-turns on climate policy. So he actually went against a bunch of goals, 2030 goals, and got rid of a 9-year delay on phasing out gas boiler, a bunch of other things. So he did that, but he's also saying now that he wants to ban smoking.
Wow, the lobby money is pretty blatant, huh?
So what do you think about all this?
I think it's great.
And Jesse, how is this different than banning air travel?
You know, it's funny because I don't know if you've been to London recently with your 4 flights per lifetime quota and everything. But
I'd like to go,
holy
but no.
cow,
What?
people our age smoke so much.
People what?
My
People
age.
who
Young
they
people.
do. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, it's everywhere. It's just you're just walking around and then you get smoke in the face. So I think this is great, but this seems kind of risky. This is surprising. I'm shocked.
Well, I wonder if this will be the trend everywhere eventually. I wonder if eventually these cigarettes are going to become a like just sold illegally. Because like the thing about weed, right now it's pretty much legal everywhere in the United States, but it also existed everywhere. Like it was being bought and sold and smoked the same amount before. So this is a fascinating one, really.
I would like to see the big companies going underground, though. That would be fun.
And remember, this is coming out of the conservative government. This is not the Labor Party. So
I'm going to give this a 10.
Jesse, you don't seem you seem confused by this one, Jesse.
No, I like this one. I my affinity for wellness. I don't think that there are any.
So you don't care about wellness for the planet,
factors.
just for people, just for individual people.
What? No, I can't.
You don't care about reducing air travel to save the planet. You just care about reducing cigarette
with reducing
smoke.
air travel. I think 4 times in your lifetime is severe.
Honestly, even 4 times a year would be a good start.
Sure,
the amount some people travel.
I think that's even maybe too much. 2 times a year, 1 time a year, getting in a plane.
1 time a year. That's a lot of one-way flights.
Okay.
You walk back.
We're talking about.
Be nice, Jesse.
Flying, it counts each trip. Fine.
All right, we can get off that. Let's go back to cigarettes. Yeah.
Cigarettes. I'm giving it a 10. I think that's great. I don't think anyone needs to smoke a cigarette ever.
Way to end on a strong note, Damien.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Because I don't know what I did for this good game, because our scores are usually pretty high. Ari, you typically average about a 7.
Wait, how is mine so low?
Jesse, you typically
I did a
also
lot
like
of middle of the road.
7. I don't know what happened without Matt, but in Matt's absence, Jesse, you came in at a 6. Ari, you came in at a 5. I don't know what's.
You had a couple of duds.
I don't know what's going on. I know, but overall. You chose to see the
if you
cynical
left
side
out
of
the
things.
Meadow one, that would have been.
I'm sorry. How many sides are there to Krispy Kreme?
I know that was a silly
0.
one. But I thought the Meadow one. Look, in the hands of Mark Zuckerberg, it's frightening. Yes, but I just thought I thought maybe you would see that there would be some kind of therapeutic. I don't know, value to this.
I think under strict supervision of healthcare experts,
but I don't trust them to do that.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's the good game. It was a sad good game. I mean, it was fun.
It was
fun to listen to you two, but the scores were low. That's it. That's all we got for October 4th, 2023. Please, go to freeflowanalytics.com. Go to support Ari's hard work. Freeflowanalytics.com. Anything else you want to plug before we get out of here? No. They're both shaking their heads no, which makes for good podcast audio.
Forgot it's a podcast.
Come back Friday. We were going to wrap up the week with the story of the week, the goodliest, all the fun stuff. That's Friday. Thank you. That's it. Get out of here. Go do something. Go plant some tobacco or something.